You're driving a car. The fuel light comes on. It says your petrol levels are low. You don't panic, you don't go into anxiety, or you don't take it too personally as a part of yourself. What do? You respond to the situation. You open your phone, you look for the nearest petrol pump, you go over there, you get your fuel filled, and you continue on your journey. It was a signal, and you responded to it. Similarly, if you're not wearing a seatbelt, the car will constantly do beep sounds. But you don't panic. You just see, okay, I'm not wearing a seatbelt. You put on a seatbelt, the sound goes away. There was a signal, you responded, and you moved on. You looked at it exactly the way the things are signals. And what you did, you saw the situation and what possible best response came to you, you did that without taking it personally. So here's the question, why do we treat the signals of our body differently? Because if you take a look at it, that's what pain actually is. It's nothing more than just a signal. It's a signal that needs your attention, that needs your response. It can be emotional pain, physiological pain, psychological pain, something that your body is telling you which requires your attention and a response from you. But what do? We take things personally. We take that signal personally, we become that signal, and we create a story around it. And then we start talking about things like, why is it happening to me? Oh, why am I suffering because of this? And all the things that we say. And in doing all that, we forget to respond to the signal. And we start suffering the signal instead. But here is where it gets a bit complicated. Just the way pain is a signal, pleasure is a signal too. Excitement, attraction, delight, all these are also different signals by our body, or signals that may indicate that something nourishing is happening, something is feeling more alive. And we react so differently to these signals than the signal of pain. And we don't just respond to pleasure as well. We try to chase it, we try to hold on to it, we try to freeze it. And in fact, we start creating our life trying to maximize it. And here is the problem with that, pain and pleasure are not two separate things, they are two sides of the same coin. They both are signals, and we always try to flip the coin, praying that only head comes and tail never comes. But the thing is, the moment we start flipping the coin, the probability of either a head or either a tail appearing is exactly the same. So you cannot expect pain to go away and pleasure to hold on, or pleasure to stay constantly. You cannot choose one side and reject the other. You cannot always get heads and not get tails. You get the coin as a whole. And when you actually start designing your life where you're constantly running away from pain and constantly moving, trying to move towards pleasure, you're not fully free, are you? You're constantly being pushed and pulled by the pleasure and pain, which are nothing but signals. And that is not freedom. That is actually a very exhausting way to live our life. And now the problem actually goes a bit more deeper. You see, our mind, which is constantly trained by the society, by organizations, and everything, is trained to look at things and label them as good, bad, right, wrong, etc. etc. It puts labels so that it helps in organization of everything. That's how society works, which is okay from the outside. But when we start labeling things on for our internal world, that's when the complication starts happening at a deeper level. We start labeling our own signals as good or bad. Pleasure is good, pain is bad. And the way that we have trained our minds, or the society has trained our minds, is that we want more of good and less of bad. So there is always a constant stretch of us wanting a good signal and not wanting a bad signal at all. But the thing is, nature doesn't see good or bad, nature doesn't see right or wrong. In nature, animal eats animal. In nature, There are trees that are so huge that you cannot even see the sky when you are under them. And there are some seeds that can't even become trees. There are deserts where there no life exists, and there are oceans where there are so many species that we don't even know. But the thing is, we always say it as tree is good, seed is not growing, so it's bad. Desert, there is no life, so it's bad. Ocean, there is plethora life, so it's good. But from nature's perspective, it just is. Nature is not labeling a desert as bad, an ocean as good, a seed as bad, a tree as good. It is doing nothing. It is just seeing how everything is unfolding. But we start putting labels on everything because that's what we have learned. And as I said, it is okay for us to exist in societies. It is okay. But the thing is, the training of using constant labels of good, bad, right, wrong, etc., it flows into our inner world. And that's when the problem starts happening. We start living in this constant stretch of wanting one thing and not wanting another. And we are not free. We are not free from this push and pull constantly. So, what happens when you stop fighting? What happens when you actually decide to let go of the coin, to let go of your desire to always get ahead and not get a tail at all? The signal arrives, you receive them, you see the best possible way to respond, and you respond. Just the way you saw that the petrol is less in your car, you found an appropriate nearby petrol pump, you went there, you got your car filled, and you continued your journey. That's how life will become. It will be freeing because there is no label of good, bad, right, wrong. There is no story that we are creating around a pleasure or a pain or any other signal for that matter. When the pain arrives, you take a look at it, you see what it is asking your attention towards, you pay your attention, you respond, and it goes away. When pleasure arrives, you take a look at it, you enjoy it, you don't chase it, you don't hold on to it, you see it, and when it passes, you just see it move on, and your life continues. There is no chasing, there is no resisting, there is only receiving. And in that state, something beautiful happens. Your division starts dissolving. You stop split between what is good, what is bad, and you become what actually is. And that stillness is nothing but a wholeness of your own internal being. And this is what I call as Jivan Mukti, where you are still alive, where you still live, but you're not in constant push and pull of pleasure and pain or constantly disturbed by the signals that are coming from within. You just take it as it comes, and you are completely free of the impacts of them because you are able to see them, observe them, and respond to them. It does not mean that pain will not come or only pleasure will stay. Even masters like Sadhguru, Swami Rama, Swami Vivekananda, they all had diseases and ailments in their body which they had to go through. But the thing is that it did not impact them, their internal being. It impacted their body, but they were able to take a look at it and respond to it in the best possible way. So the liberation is not from the pain and pleasure. The liberation is actually by giving up the coin itself. You still feel everything. The pain comes, the pleasure comes, but it is okay. You're able to respond to it and you are able to move on with your life. And this is actually not a very distant spiritual achievement. It is very much achievable in this life, in this moment. Have I reached there? No. But the thing is that I have had flashes in my life where I have experienced it. When pain came, I was able to take a look at it as a signal and respond to it. When pleasure came, I was actually able to enjoy it and not hold on to it. So it is very much achievable in this life. One practice that actually helped me, which I started almost 2.5 years ago, is that I consciously took a decision of not putting things as good, bad, right, wrong, whatever, even in my communication, even in my work. So even if I have to give a feedback to someone, instead of saying that I don't like this is bad, this is not good, I would use sentences which are more descriptive, to make them understand what actually is from my perspective, that is right. And doing that practice even in the outside world gave me enough gave my mind enough examples of looking within me and stop labeling my own thoughts, my own feelings, my own signals as good, bad, right, wrong. And what that did was give me glimpses of total freedom that actually might be there, right? When the signal comes, when any thought comes, instead of judging, instead of labeling, just being able to look at it and not being impacted by it, that is actually what true and total freedom feels like. And I am on my path towards that. If you like this content, please drop a like and subscribe on this channel for more videos like this. And I would like to know your thoughts in the comments below, so do share them. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one.